Hello everybody, some kind of cyborg here once again bringing you an Elden Ring video. Today I'm going to be showing you where to get an absolutely fantastic weapon for those leaning heavily into faith, as well as where to go to get your hands on some of the better early and mid game faith spells. Most of these can only be acquired after defeating Godrick, but you can grab the weapon right from the start of the game. So without further ado, let's jump in. The staple weapons in my build so far have been the gold halberd and the winged scythe. I was originally thinking the halberd was the way to go and invested heavily into strength and faith. After picking up the winged scythe however, I feel as though the golden halberd has been made obsolete. Don't get me wrong, the halberd slaps and its weapon art is great at buffing yourself and your spirits, but it's undeniably slow, unwieldy, and in my opinion far too heavy for the damage that it does. Enter the winged scythe. This weapon does it all. See faith scaling at +5 and see in dex at +9. Good reach, angle coverage, incredibly fast, and it bleeds enemies. Now I know you're probably thinking, bloody hell cyborg, it's enough to make a man of the two fingers hot under the collar. But wait, there's more. It also has an incredibly strong weapon art, which sees your character following a slash airborne before coming back down and reaping everything in a wide arc. This ability has all the hyper armor in the world once you're airborne, applies bleed, has heavy stagger, and the added benefit of making anything it hits unable to use flasks for a period of time. It's an excellent option for both PvP and PvE and is incredibly easy to obtain. Simply head northeast from the 4th Church of Marika in the southern landmass and pick it up in the Tombswood Ruins. Praise be to the two fingers. Now I'm going to go over some of the spells, in no particular order, although these first two are very close together. Lightning Strike is a 28 faith, 1 slot required incantation. It has good coverage and okay damage. When cast, it calls down prongs of lightning in a line in front of the caster. It can be pretty decent against enemies coming at you in a line, and will catch back rolls and surprise enemies with its reach in PvP. It's a simple enough pickup, dropping from an ash beetle. You can find it in a small canyon to the right of the Weeping Peninsula minor Erdtree. Flame of Frenzy is a 16 faith 1 slot required incantation. It will blast in a very wide arc, projecting a couple of meters from the player. It has great AoE and potentially great damage, dependent on how many of the random bolts actually hit your targets. It has pretty decent application against slow packs of mobs, and can be charged to unleash even more bolts. You can find this incantation in the Kalu Baptismal Church, not too far from the Lightning Strike, on a corpse. There's even a sacred tear to grab while you're here. One thing I will make note of before I move on, as you use the spell, as you charge the spell and unleash it, you will actually suffer from madness. When that bar hits the top, you are going to take a ton of damage, so use with caution. Now then, the Dragon Prayerbook. Acquiring this prayer book will give you access to a bunch of different lightning based spells when you give it to a faith incantation tutor. The first one, Lightning Spear, is a 17 faith 1 slot required incantation returning from previous From games. It boasts fantastic speed, damage, range, and can be charged for additional damage. It's a great ability to start or end fights with and will damage enemies through shields. Next up is Honed Bolt, a 24 faith 1 slot required incantation. It's an absolutely great spell in my opinion, capable of churning through mob packs as well as focusing down a single enemy. Though it looks basic, it does decent damage with a relatively fast cast speed, and the trick here is that you can keep firing it off for as long as you have the FP to support it. That means if you get the initial cast off, you then have the potential to unleash the full fury of the heavens upon your enemies. Finally, there's Electrify Armament.
By the power of Grayskull!
A 15 faith 1 slot requirement incantation that does exactly what it says on the tin. It applies lightning damage to your right hand armament with a duration of 90 seconds. Pretty standard stuff. You can acquire the Dragon Prayerbook by defeating a roaming knight in the portion of the game after you defeat Godrick. You can find him just west of the Carrion Study Hall and immediately south of an artist shack in the Liurnia of the Lakes area. Liurnia. As a bonus pickup for my particularly devout peers, you can also find the Sacred Blade Ash of War just north of the 3rd Church of Marika in the hands of an Ash Beetle. It's going to allow you to shoot blades of light from any weapon you can slot it onto, as well as giving the paired armament the Sacred Affinity, further boosting your holy damage for those heavily invested in Faith. I've been loving playing a Faith build in Elden Ring, more so than any other From game. It seems the holy boys have finally been given the love and attention they solely deserve. The weapon support for Faith builds is the best it's ever been, and you can actually spec into spells now and have it feel core and functional rather than a gimmick. I haven't been able to bring myself to make another character yet, which is admittedly bad for YouTube visibility, because I just am enjoying playing this class so much and want to see if a Faith focus build can comfortably take me all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribe if you would like to see more Elden Ring content. Until the next one folks, have a good one and take care. Peace.